Code, AOI-BU3-0510. Reason of interest. AOI-BU3-0510 would be useful within cleaning up the laboratory, specifically after experiments and unforeseen dangers during experiments. It also has great potential to be a weapon.
The entity would as well be very helpful during the labor done for product manufacturing. The entity cannot feel boredom as well, the perfect trait that a worker must have.
Its phases, indestructibility, and speed make the entity more valuable to own. AOI-BU3-0510 is an entity that resembles a Shan, but it appears to have no face, be composed of water, and have 6 arms. Its clothes appear to be part of the entity's manifestations, as well as its cleaning tools it has. The surface of the hair and skin feel moist, but despite that, they are impossible to penetrate. AOI-BU3-0510 does not attempt to defend itself against physical attacks. See Addendum .0510.1, and feel hard like a gemstone. Thus, a sample of AOI-BU3-0510 cannot be collected. AOI-BU3-0510 is also lightweight enough to be carried. Bodily scans of the entity show no visible organs, bones, blood vessels, and others. When the entity is placed on the scale, it is said to weigh 1 kilogram as opposed to the standard 4 kilograms of an average fully matured Shan. Picking the entity up then shaking it feels as it appears to seem like the entity is hollow from the inside. The entity takes on the job of and resembles a maid. Unlike regular maids, AOI-BU3-0510 is inhumanely faster than said maids. AOI-BU3-0510's tools can clean anything deemed in need of cleaning by the person who is currently ordering AOI-BU3-0510, referred to as the possessor. It also has an innate sense of the location of subjects that correlate with the orders it is given. These objects that can be deemed dirty can be anything, even including Shans. For dirty splotches that the possessor wants cleaned, it will clean the matter like a regular person. Its soap mixture and its tools appear to be indistinguishable from normal, until used together by AOI-BU3-0510 to clean certain matter ordered by its possessor. When this matter is cleaned by AOI-BU3-0510, it appears to be worn down into nothing. For matter classified as dirty by the possessor which is larger than 1.5 kilograms and less than 4 kilograms, AOI-BU3-0510 will manifest an average-sized opaque plastic bag and proceed to place the matter into the bag. The plastic bag is like a regular plastic bag, so it will exceed a limit. Thus, AOI-BU3-0510 will summon another bag for the remaining matter. The bags can be of different dimensions depending on the matter. Once AOI-BU3-0510 is done packaging the matter, AOI-BU3-0510 will promptly put the bags away. Full bags demanifests. The manifestation of these tools appears seemingly like a blur similar to what might be captured in sight of an object moving very quickly. When AOI-BU3-0510 no longer needs to use a tool, they simply demanifest in a similar fashion to how they are manifested, despite lacking adhesive pads of arthropod nor the suction pads of a lizard. AOI-BU3-0510 can still climb up non-horizontal surfaces. The entity was observed to have no difficulty with climbing up said surfaces. With these abilities, AOI-BU3-0510 can clean the possessor's entire home within a blink of an eye when requested. AOI-BU3-0510 will not socialize with the possessor, nor behave like a human being even when they order it to. It is unknown why AOI-BU3-0510 does not communicate like so, and it was never reported speaking. The orders that AOI-BU3-0510 will respond to are akin to the work that regular maids are hired for. AOI-BU3-0510 cannot be affected by any method of the possessor's discipline. If the possessor orders AOI-BU3-0510 to give them a status update on the orders they give AOI-BU3-0510, it will do so via messaging. The entity cannot feel boredom as well or exhaustion, even if the possessor gives AOI-BU3-0510 a set of orders that would tire a regular maid out. The entity AOI-BU3-0510 has 2 phases in which it manifests. These phases are called the dormant phase and the active phase. The dormant phase lasts for 4 years, concluding on the date of May 10th. May 10th appears to coincide with an unofficial Japanese, Homo sapiens culture, holiday, which is known as Maid Day. Upon reaching this designated date, the entity materializes in a random area, excluding inside residences. This is the start of the active phase. Upon the next arrival on the date of May 10th, the entity demanifests and reverts to its dormant state, thus beginning a new cycle. To become the possessor, one must manage to isolate AOI-BU3-0510 from its current possessor for more than 6 hours. After this period is reached, AOI-BU3-0510 will no longer consider the former its possessor. The first person to make an order to AOI-BU3-0510 will become the new possessor. AOI-BU3-0510 has existed approximately -1000, as provided by the records from the ancient Xians. The oldest mention of this entity was apparently around this time, and the Xians from earlier times were literate, leading speculation of whether said entity existed before the -1000s. The different outfit in the painting suggests as the cleaning techniques change over time, it reflects onto the entity itself. Upon late April, systems designed to detect and capture AOI-BU3-0510 must be active. When the day of May 10th arrives, a truck must be used to transport the entity, powered with navigation systems trained with photographs of it. These systems will give directions to the entity as soon as possible. Once the truck has reached its destination, AOI-BU3-0510 must be loaded into the truck and promptly driven back. AOI-BU3-0510 must be placed into its containment chamber. Addendum May 15, 2000, Addendum .0510.1, Experiment Log. Date, July 14, 2000. Subject, response of AOI-BU3-0510 to attempted attacks. Experimental personnel, EP214X, 1, 2, 3, 4. Experiment 1. Date, July 14, 2000. Subject, AOI-BU3-0510 gets punched, slapped, kicked. Hypothesis, nothing will happen to AOI-BU3-0510. Data, EP214EX punches, claps, and kicks AOI-BU3-0510. Nothing happens to AOI-BU3-0510. Conclusion, nothing happened to AOI-BU3-0510. July 14, 2000. Subject, AOI-BU3-0510 will become a victim of violent physical assault. Hypothesis, nothing will happen to AOI-BU3-0510. Data, EP214EX pushes AOI-BU3-0510 to the ground. AOI-BU3-0510 proceeds to get jumped by EP214X. Conclusion, nothing happened to AOI-BU3-0510. Experiment 3. Date, July 14, 2000. Subject, AOI-BU3-0510 gets shot in where the heart would be. Hypothesis, nothing will happen to AOI-BU3-0510. Data, EP214EX misses the shot a few times, until eventually shooting where the heart would be. Conclusion, nothing happened to AOI-BU3-0510. July 14, 2000. Subject, in a private field, AOI-BU3-0510 gets run over by a standard car driven by EP214X. Hypothesis, AOI-BU3-0510 gets flipped over by the car, gets launched in the air very high in the opposite direction as the car, spinning around in the air, then falls down on the ground without damage. Data, EP214EX hesitates to accept the experiment, but after a few threats of being reassigned to more brutal experiments, EP214EX eventually accepts. As EP214X drives, panicked screams can be heard while driving. At the hit, no damage to the car and physical damage to EP214EX was not received. AOI-BU3-0510 gets launched up into the air about 2 times faster than the car, promptly landing on the ground without any damage. Conclusion, nothing happened to AOI-BU3-0510. Final conclusion, there is no physical damage received to AOI-BU3-0510, nor does it attempt to defend itself. July 17, 2000. Subject, response of AOI-BU3-0510 to certain temperatures. Experiment 1. Date, July 16, 2000. Subject, AOI-BU3-0510 gets put into an oven and baked at high temperatures. Hypothesis, nothing will happen to AOI-BU3-0510. Data, AOI-BU3-0510 is as hot as the expected temperatures of an average Xian under that pressure, but AOI-BU3-0510 retains no damage. Conclusion, AOI-BU3-0510 can get hot from temperatures used to warm food like normal objects, but but cannot be damaged by said temperatures. July 17, 2000. Subject: AOI-BU3-0510 gets locked inside a freezer. Hypothesis: AOI-BU3-0510 will take on the temperature as the freezer if an average yarn is put under these circumstances, like the last experiment. Data: AOI-BU3-0510 is as cold as the expected temperatures of an average yarn under that pressure, but AOI-BU3-0510 retains no damage. Conclusion: AOI-BU3-0510 can freeze from temperatures used to freeze food like normal objects, but cannot be damaged by said temperatures. The temperature of AOI-BU3-0510 can be controlled by its environment, without any damage being taken in the process. The 5th of March 2016. Subject: how would AOI-BU3-0510 perform with spatial tasks? Note: thanks to truck_my-house's engineering prowess, these experiments are now achievable. Experiment 1. Date: the 5th of March 2016. Subject: AOI-BU3-0510 is tasked to retrieve a photograph, sent by truck_my-house's teleporter, of my walls from a planet 1 light-year away, then promptly return back to Earth. AOI-BU3-0510 will have cameras attached to it. AOI-BU3-0510 speed won't be fast enough for travel. Data: AOI-BU3-0510 jumps into the air and leaves the atmocuboid. During the trip, AOI-BU3-0510 was able to dodge black holes and unintentionally destroy space objects that came its way. After 2 minutes, AOI-BU3-0510 falls back into the atmocuboid and returns with required photographs. Conclusion: AOI-BU3-0510 is faster than we imagined. AOI-BU3-0510 may be harmed by spaghettification. The compression effect of matter being squeezed into a long strip one will go through if sucked into a black hole. Experiment 2. Date: the 5th of November 2016. AOI-BU3-0510 is tasked to clean a planet with a sapient species and then return. It at least has a military.
Fortunately, the planet has no history and no good designs worth copying.
AOI-BU3-0510 will destroy the planet within minutes. Data: AOI-BU3-0510 travels to the planet in 30 seconds, and starts cleaning it. The planet dissolves from its madework in 2 minutes. AOI-BU3-0510 promptly returns. Conclusion: AOI-BU3-0510 can be a war weapon. Experiment where AOI-BU3-0510 cleans a black hole is currently pending approval. Final conclusion: AOI-BU3-0510 has great potential to be used as a weapon. July 23, 2005, Addendum .0510.2, Fairy Tale. This fairy tale was recovered from approximately -1000, mentioning the existence of AOI-BU3-0510. The author is anonymous and currently unidentified. There was a little AOI. Writing modifications were not very common in this time period. It should be noted that the fairy tale had bad reception due to said modifications. Who lived in a little town W1th a wise mother and diso 8 edient mind he was lazy and messy. 8ut his mother told him to start 8ing tidy over and over again. He didn't listen, he would just live under the 8 benefit of the maid. She was fast, 6-armed, and could spawn her T00LS on that fateful day. The 8oi has grown into a man. The mother had grown into an old lady that then died. Even when the man was alone, plaque grew all over the house. He was still lazy from when he didn't listen to his mother, so the plaque ate him 8-4a the maid could come 8-ack again.
There is a children's adaptation of this fairy tale that I, Truck in My House, have created. With beautiful artwork and refined grammar, this fairy tale would bring a great deal of joy and knowledge to your kids.
The 1st of April 2021, Addendum .0510.3, AOI-CY42020B abuse. While AOI-CY42020A was active, AOI-BU3-0510 happened to manifest on its annual arrival date. The AOI-CY42020B happened to abuse AOI-BU3-0510 for their irrational cruel plans. The abuse would be exploiting AOI-BU3-0510's speed and unconscious obedience, even if the order was illegal according to the law. After truck_my-house launched a nuke on AOI-CY42020C, AOI-CY4-2020A's spread became softer and easier to manage. During the mass containment of AOI-CY2020B instances, Some were interviewed about the damage AOI-BU3-0510 had done from its abuses and the affected